What's going on, everyone? I am Matt Pendergraph, and in today's video, I'm going to be unboxing, assembling, and sharing my initial thoughts on the Force USA Adductor Machine. That is right, it's the infamous good girl, bad girl machine. It's the machine that drives the good girls crazy and the bad girls wild, and it's in my gym. So you're probably asking yourself, Matt, why do you even have that machine? It's kind of an odd thing to put in your gym. And I would be asking myself that along with many other questions as well. But here's the scoop. Basically, I went to Force USA towards the end of last year with a buddy to help him film some content. Force USA's got this new Solitude line. Not only do they have this, they've got several other pieces. Definitely check them out. I naturally gravitated toward this bad boy because I was dealing with these little issues. Tightness, instability, poor mechanics, and overall weakness in my posterior chain. It's pretty embarrassing if I'm being honest with you. So yeah. Whenever I got back, this was on my radar. I wanted to bring it in the gym. Plus the wife's gonna be able to use it. So it just made sense. Anyways, it's here. And I will say that if you are interested in this or checking out any other pieces in their Solitude line, I do have a coupon code, MAT5, I believe, saves you 5%. Check that out if you are interested in saving some money. I'm gonna link it down in the description below, along with the link to the product itself if you want to help support the channel. But other than that, let's dive into this. All right, so first off, this thing ships via freight and will arrive to your door in a big old crate, not unlike the one directly behind me. It's exactly like the one. It is the one directly behind me. It is up to you to open it and take the contents out. I chose to use a flat crowbar and a hammer. You can use a lobster tail and a fish hook. I don't really care. Just make it happen. So I've opened up the crate and everything looks beautifully packaged, which is a good sign of great things to come. To me, it says that Force thinks a lot about their products. They want to protect it. They think a lot about the end user, the consumer, to wrap it, protect it, make sure that it's safe during transport. You get it and you get the best possible experience when you crack this bad boy open. I have received many of crates from many companies. You crack it open, everything's just kind of piled on top of each other with maybe a thin layer of bubble wrap. It's not ideal considering all this stuff is obviously heavy. And then if it's traveling from one side of the country to the other, there's a lot of shifting, a lot of swaying. You end up with scrapes, scuffs, dents, broken pieces. It's not ideal. So like I said, to open this and see this level of protection, we're off to a great start. All right, so check it out. I pulled everything out of the crate and I've thrown it onto my gym floor and it is magnificent. This may be premature, but from what I can tell, I'm not seeing any damage. Everything seems to be pristine. Obviously, there may be some surprises when I pull this plastic off. I'll let you know if I see anything. But yeah, just the quality, the fit and finish, this thing should be top freaking notch. I'm really looking forward to getting it assembled, getting in the gym, like get to using this thing. Very, very nice piece from what I've seen. Boom, beautiful. The end goal, of course, after I assemble it, is to throw it in this corner where the multi-flight currently sits. I've got another place in mind for it. Dimensionally, it should fit without any issues. Of course, as you know, owning a home gym, that's always subject to change. There's always something that maybe arises once you allocate space for some piece or whatever, something you just didn't think of. I'm hoping that isn't the case here because I really want it to fit there, but we're gonna find out. So anyways, let's start unwrapping stuff. All right, so check this out. Padding is one of those areas that some companies tend to skimp out on as far as the quality. I'm not really sure why, seeing as though it's your direct connection to the machine, it's what you're sitting on, it's gonna see the most amount of abuse. I will say that I am very pleased with what's going on here. This is very dense, and then the back is finished, just not like open or raw wood like some of them. And then it's got quite a bit of weight to it too. It doesn't feel like just cheap and flimsy. So this should hold up quite nicely. All right, so just kind of grabbing a random part to kind of illustrate the overall fit and finish of this machine from what I'm seeing so far. This, I believe they call it the turntable frame. Don't hold me to it. The welds on this thing are immaculate. Very, very well done. And it doesn't just apply to this piece. It's everything that I'm seeing, all the tubing and everything. I mean, it all just looks pristine. And just the overall fit and finish, especially the finish of powder coat, very nicely done. It's kind of like this dark gray, almost black, but really dark gray. I like the looks of this. And I say all this to say that it's not always the case when you get some of these pieces. Sometimes you'll get in from other manufacturers, other companies. Yes, it technically works. It just doesn't look good. The fit and finish of it's just like piss poor. You'll get weld splatters. The welds are all, you know, goobed up, boogered on there, whatever. And then the overall like powder coating is just, it's shipping right out of the box, and not really a great first impression, but I could say that's definitely not the case with this. I am very pleased with everything I'm seeing so far. So when I was unwrapping this, I got nervous. I saw all this right here and I was like, dang it, scratch the piss out of it. But thankfully, it's just some sort of powder. No clue what kind of powder it is. It's probably gonna make me sick now. Great. All right, so check this out. Hardware, obviously it's nothing too exciting, but I will say this setup right here is gonna make installation so much nicer. All the things are well organized on this little piece of cardboard and then cellophaned in and appropriately labeled. So yeah, great job here. All right, just kind of unwrapping the pulleys here. As you can tell, these are plastic. Appear to be a very nice plastic at that. I would prefer to see aluminum, or at least have Force offer an aluminum upgrade, not from a functionality or smoothness standpoint, purely from an aesthetic or a cosmetic standpoint. I do think the aluminum, the silver pulleys just look more premium in general, but not a big deal, something worth pointing out. So everything has been unwrapped. It all looks great, just as I suspected. I didn't see any damage, no scuffs, scrapes, anything like that. So awesome. Get out of here, you little piece of styrofoam. What are you doing? About to start assembling this thing. Got the instruction book. Just kind of thumbing through it. It looks to be, you know, pretty straightforward. They've done a great job as far as like the illustrations and then just explaining what to do. And then as previously mentioned, the hardware packet, everything seems to be labeled appropriately. So installation really should be a pretty straightforward, easy process. All right, getting ready to assemble this, wanted to point this out. Something that I noticed is that there are no included tools with this, or at least if there are, I've already lost them. But yeah, it's not the end of the world. Most of the time, whenever companies include tools with their stuff, they're nothing special, they're nothing great. So wanted to point that out to you in case you are, you know, banking on, yeah, there's gonna be tools. You're gonna need to have something on hand. I will say, just a suggestion, most of these appear to be Allen head bolts. What I would say to do is to pick you up, if you don't already have it, a bit socket set. What that is, rather than using an Allen wrench, these are Allen wrenches basically morphed onto a socket. So you can use them with a ratchet. You can just stick it on the bolt and just go to town. Rick it, as opposed to the whole like stick it in, turn it, pull it out, that stupid game. Also, you're gonna do yourself just a normal socket set or a wrench. So yeah, they've already got the nuts, the washers on there. I mean, this is beautiful, beautiful. Get in there like that. Boom. Looking good. Oh. So as you can probably tell, I'm mostly finished assembling the machine, and I am super impressed by everything that I am seeing. Not that I haven't already seen this before. All I've got left, I got to drop in the weight stack, attach the shrouds and the handles, and I should be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and clear out the back corner over here, go ahead and move everything, try to clear up some of this trash as well, and then finish the installation process over there. So yeah. And just like that, the assembly process is complete, and I gotta say, I could not be more thrilled. Cleaning out the corner and finagling this piece into it was an absolute nightmare. Thankfully, the rest of the install was very straightforward. Throwing on the weight stacks, the shrouds, the handles, couldn't have been easier. On that note, I wanna say I did have to break out a 6mm Allen wrench, as well as 2 regular wrenches instead of my adjustable wrench. I wanna say they were 18 and 19mm. So bear that in mind if you go to install this. You're gonna need more than the little socket bit set that I suggested earlier. Just in case you're unfamiliar with this machine and how it operates, let's say you wanna perform abductor work. You're gonna plop your butt in the seat, rotate these pads around where they sit on the outer part of your thighs, grab the pop pin conveniently located under your right side, bring the legs or arms or stirrups or whatever you want to call them inward, select the weight you want, Then you're gonna press outward, just like that, like you're opening your legs. Now you're done with your abductor work and you wanna do adduction work. You're gonna rotate these pads around to where they sit on the inner part of your thighs. Grab that same pop pin, spread them legs as far as you can. Me, myself, I can't go very far. Make sure it's locked in, select the weight you want, squeeze it together, just like this. Feels so good, like you're cracking walnuts. So quick side note, when you're performing adduction work, you might experience the urge to want to fart, and it is okay, it's perfectly natural. I say let it rip. But let's say you're in the vicinity of someone who you don't want to fart in front of. I get it, I've been there before. Do like I do, blame it on someone else or something else. Must have stepped on a frog, am I right? So something worth keeping in mind if you're thinking about bringing this piece into your home gym is that Force USA's website lists this unit as being 57 inches tall, 64 inches in length, and 29 in width. And while the 29 might be accurate when everything is folded inward, it's actually when you're completely sprawled out as far as you're gonna go, basically doing the splits, it's more like 66 inches. So keep that in mind. If you can't go wide, if you're hitting your wall, if you're only allocating 29 inches towards, you can't use this machine. So something worth mentioning. So allow me to take a moment to share some advice with you about the weight stack when it comes to building this bad boy. I suggest stick the label stickers on each individual plate as you're building it up, as opposed to waiting until you're completely finished, because then you have to lay down here and you have to stick them on there and make sure everything's level. It sucks. Don't do it. It's avoidable. Just stick them on as you go. Also, lube up the guide rods with a silicone-based lubricant before you even put a weight plate on there. That just makes the whole process so much smoother. It gets rid of the friction. You don't have any of this going down. And if you want to take it a step further, take you a little bit of lubricant and put it on the holes of each individual plate as you're putting it on there. That way it's lubricant on lubricant and it just glides, baby. And this is the biggest win. Do all of this prior to adding the shrouds, because once you add the shrouds, as you can see, you've got very little room to work. So to kind of summarize this machine before I delve into my final thoughts about it, this is a 485-pound beast that features a 222-pound weight stack. It also has 7 width adjustments for the legs. Not that I will be using anywhere near all 7 of those. Seriously, my lack of hip flexibility is embarrassing. Apparently, my inner girl isn't quite bad enough yet. But don't worry, she'll get there. It is equipped with 2 handles alongside of the seat, as well as 2 out in front of you on the weight stack. And atop of the weight stack, you've got a drink holder and a compartment that you can store your loose pocket change, your Game Boys, your tablets, your favorite DVD collection, whatever you want to. Probably just gonna put your cell phone in it. But other than that, yeah. So final thoughts, the machine is solid. There's nothing that feels cheap or flimsy about it. The packaging is thoughtful, the assembly is mostly straightforward, and the functionality is on point in my opinion. The 222-pound stack is more than enough for my needs, and it keeps tension throughout the entire movement, especially right from the start, which is key when it comes to these particular machines. Overall, it's a high-quality piece of equipment that looks awesome, and it feels like it's built to last. And while I don't believe they are marketing this piece for commercial use, I'd be willing to bet that it'd hold up quite well in a commercial setting based on everything I'm seeing here. Alrighty everyone, that is all I got for you. I appreciate you watching and I hope you learned a little something about yourself along this journey. If you did, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, as that is how this whole thing works. Also, as I mentioned before, I'm going to be linking this product in the description of today's video, so if you want to check it out or anything else that Force USA has to offer, do so, and be sure to use my coupon code MATT5 to save yourself 5%. Other than that, again, appreciate you watching. Until next time.